In this Borderlands 4 video, I bring you a guide on the top 5 most broken weapons in the game. These consist of pairing items together using game mechanics to create unlimited game stacking damage bugs and much more. This one you don't want to miss. How's it going, guys? My name's DPJ, and if you do enjoy the video, leaving a like really helps out, and if you like what you see and want to see more, be sure to subscribe. Now if you see a weapon in this video that you're interested in but you do not have, join my Discord link down below. We have a great Borderlands 4 community over there where you can trade, meet people to play with, be a part of our open loot lobbies where you can get free amazing loot and much more. Again, my Discord is linked down below. Okay, so this video I will showcase 5 or so totally broken weapons which will basically make the game a walk in the park for you, to a point of more or less basically one-shotting every boss in the game, no matter what difficulty you are playing on. Now some of these weapons require multiple items, others require nothing and are just broken through exploiting the perk mechanics, so let's get into it. Okay, so we will start with weapons that require a specific grenade knife. Yes, the also popular crit knife. Now this knife itself is said to be a random world drop, but I've also heard there is a higher chance of getting this from red chests. That's where I initially had 2 of these drop from. I will say though, I have done a couple of open loot lobbies and I've given away hundreds of these on my Discord, so again, if there's something in this video you want that you don't have and you can't seem to get, join my Discord link down below. But yes, this critical knife is absolutely broken, and pairing it with some of these weapons, guys, you just need to witness it before you'd even believe it. So this crit knife with that damage amp payload and the penetrator augment, it means that for 5 seconds after you hit anything with this boss, every shot you do is a crit shot, meaning crazy damage. Now this was initially paired with early on within BL4's release with a shotgun called the Dullahan, which is also a random world drop, but it needed to have that specific alt firing mode on it, which was spread launcher. This combined was absolutely devastating, and considering the other things you could indeed use on your setup to make that first shot or the spread fire shot even more crazy, things like the amp shield, amp on the rep kit and enhancement shoots buff shotguns, I mean it made the weapon an absolute monster. Now you can also get spread launcher, the alt firing mode on other weapons too. I've seen it on other purple weapons like the Ballor, but I'm pretty sure, guys, you can get this on certain legendaries too. I'm pretty sure the TK's wave can drop with this, but don't quote me on that. But yeah, the Dullahan is still a shotgun as of right now. It's sought after, so if you come across the right one, keep an eye on it if it does have that alt firing mode of spread launcher, and definitely pick it up and keep it stored. It is an absolute monster of a weapon and one not to take lightly. Now another shotgun which allows you to wipe out bosses when paired with that crit knife is the Maliwan's Kickballer. This legendary shotgun is capable of not only destroying bosses but also destroying frames and even the player itself. With that Jacob's critical hits ricochet to nearby enemies, when this actual thing is fired, as it comes out like a looping ball, if it lands a crit, the result is devastating, as you can see with me using it here on that test dummy. This is where that crit knife comes in, because every shot for 5 seconds after throwing and hitting that crit knife becomes a critical hit, which means when you shoot this weapon at an enemy where it's just hit with that crit knife, the results are devastating. The ricochets are even more devastating, and the result will not only drop your frames but 9 times out of 10 also take you out. Now you can survive it, but it's pretty rare. But the Kickballer is a legendary weapon which drops from the boss of Sludgemore. Now upon you playing through the story and meeting Rush, you can now do 2 side quests from this point which you need to complete. They are null and void and all charged up, which can be found on screen now. Completing null and void and all charged up, a Sludgemore, the boss, will now become farmable for you, and from this point you can farm him and get this incredible shotgun. Now we have another certain shotgun, but this one's a purple, which takes advantage of that crit knife, and again the results are utterly devastating. So it's called the Stellium, and it needs to have that alt firing mode of energy disc and also that Jacob's critical hits ricochet perk. With these together, guys, what you can do with this shotgun is brutal. A lot like the Kickballer. When this thing triggers and triggers right, the ricochets are just out of this world. But the better thing about this is over the Kickballer is 9 times out of 10 you'll actually survive this instead of the Kickballer where 9 times out of 10 you're probably going to die shooting that thing. So this is a much more consistent weapon in actually destroying bosses instantly without taking yourself down. So yes, using this with that crit knife, the results are crazy. Now what I will say is it isn't as consistent as you would think though. It is a little bit hit and miss with getting this wild effect of those ricochets just piling up on the same boss, but it does do it more times than not. But it's still worth having a look for this weapon, so yes, keep an eye out for it. Next up guys, we have an SMG which can drop as a blue or even a purple, which when paired with a certain enhancement it's truly barbaric. The SMG is a Vladof one called Flewdy, but the version you want has to have the flamethrower or firing mode on it. Once you have this, you then need the Vladof enhancement with bullet holes on it. When you have these guys, equip them and you can take advantage of one of the most deadliest weapons in the entire game. So with both requirements here, what it can now do is, thanks to that bullet holes enhancement, is stack projectiles from the SMG. This is done quite easily, so with the SMG within your hand, with the enhancement equipped, simply hold down that trigger, that fire button, and then guys just spam the alt fire mode button. On controller this is just holding down that right trigger to fire and then spamming down on your D-pad to switch between that alt firing mode. When you do this guys, it's stacking projectiles to the SMG, meaning its main firing mode after about 5 minutes will shoot out multiple projectiles which are stupid overpowered. And what's great about this is the damage buff with those extra projectiles won't disappear. You can keep this for as long as you don't unequip the weapon or don't quit out the game, meaning even if you die, fast travel, switch weapons, you keep this damage. So yes, this SMG and the enhancement are great ones to look out for. Now this exact glitch also works with the Birt B's Vladof Legendary SMG too, but instead of stacking projectile bullets, you actually stack those bees, which makes it equally as deadly. You will however need to get this legendary with that alt firing mode of flamethrower on it. It isn't a guarantee. And again, using the enhancement, holding down that trigger and just spam that alt firing mode to stack those bees. Now the Birt bees are the legendary drops from the boss of Sludgemore. Yeah, the same boss who drops the Kickballer which we covered earlier. But if you did use timestamps to get to this point of the video, Sludgemore is unlocked upon you playing through the story campaign until you meet Rush. From this point you'll unlock a side quest called Null and Void. Complete the Null and Void side quest, you'll unlock All Charged Up, complete this side quest and you'll get the boss. You can then guys farm the boss of Sludgemore over and over until you get this incredible SMG. Simple as that. Okay, so next up and lastly for the most broken weapons in the game is the Songbird. Now this legendary pistol is capable of doing absolutely silly things, and because it doesn't really need anything else to stack damage, it's probably the best on this list. But again, another weapon capable of one-tapping every boss in the game. So firstly, the Songbird drops from the boss of Rock'n'Roller, who is found at the end of the Crevasse abandoned mine. Now upon you farming this boss and getting this weapon, this is how you stack damage. Go into your inventory and unequip all weapons besides this Songbird and any other random weapon. So we basically have 2 weapons equipped, one being the Songbird and 2 empty slots. Then guys, empty the clip out of the Songbird, then mid reload double tap your switch weapon button. So you are switching to your other weapon equipped and then switching back to the Songbird. Do this as fast as you can. In every time you do this mid reload of that Songbird's animation, it stacks damage. Simply rinse and repeat this for about 5 minutes and the damage you will output is utterly unbelievable. It's truly broken, guys. And there we have it, 5+ of the most broken weapons in Borderlands 4. As I make this video and after the latest patch, all of these do indeed still work, but I'm pretty certain along with the crit knife, many of these will be patched sooner or later. So use and abuse them while you can. Guys, if you did enjoy the video, leaving a like really helps out. If you like what you see and want to see more, be sure to subscribe, and hopefully guys, I will see you on that next one.